I, 25 male, am getting married to the love of my life, 25 female, who I've been dating since I was 17, more or less uninterrupted. We love each other dearly and nothing would make us happier than to grow old together. We got engaged last year and booked the wedding in North Wales. The wedding is just over a week away and we've gone all out on this because we want to make this a magical experience we'll never forget. The problem is that my older brother, 28 male, came out as gay earlier in the year. Our parents were nudging him to find a girl to settle down with when he just spilled his guts. Our parents called my younger siblings and me to break the news. Now, I'm completely fine with this. I have nothing against LGBT people and everyone is supportive. That's not an issue. The issue is that our extended family doesn't know, and ever since he turned 20 he's been getting the question, when are you going to get a girlfriend at family events? Something he admitted makes him feel weird and excluded from the wider family, but we all said when he's ready to come out we'd support him. So last week he messaged me to ask if he could bring a +1. I was confused and jokingly said, still in the bearded stage. At first he kept me on red, but an hour later he messaged me again saying, we're not dating but I'd like to bring a guy along. I admit I was quite shocked by this. Honestly, it doesn't sit right with me. Seeing as he's not out, I asked him if that was wise and he said, I'm sick of hiding. I admit I was getting very freaked out. I begged him to reconsider and pointed out this would completely overshadow the wedding. He said he highly doubted that would be the case and asked me to think about it. I did, and frankly it just doesn't seem fair that he's trying to make the day I've dreamed of since I was a tween a day all about him. I messaged him explaining that I couldn't let him take over my wedding like this and how it may cause issues with my partner's family. I reminded him that I love him and accept him, but he simply responded, okay then, I won't be coming. At this point I needed to let off some steam and I lost my temper a bit. I messaged back, thank you, if you're going to act like a spoiled child I don't want you there. So for both our sakes don't come or bring your gross partner with you. I quickly deleted the message and reiterated that he was still welcome to come without a partner. Instead of calming down and talking to me, he went to our family group chat and just came out there. Thankfully everyone's been supportive, but I just felt sick. All anyone wants to talk about is him coming out. I haven't told my partner this yet, and when I tried to message him he blocked my number. I'm so upset and I'm so angry and feel like I've lost my brother. But at the same time he's set on ruining my special day because he can't be patient. So, am I the idiot for not letting my brother bring a gay partner to my wedding and overshadow my day? It was fair to raise your initial concern about him coming out at your event, but you crossed the line with the gross partner comment and you likely have really damaged your relationship with your brother. He could have done exactly what he did, which is come out in the group chat ahead of time, but that's not always a comfortable way to do it. Everyone's the idiot here. Brother was an idiot briefly, but you seem to be an idiot generally. I don't get why the brother is at fault. He respected OP's wishes to not come out at the wedding. He came out before the wedding, which means the wedding is still about the wedding. My suggestion, if OP hadn't already totally blown the situation, would have been to ask his brother to come out before the wedding so that nobody would be surprised at the wedding. As far as I'm concerned, a wedding is a single day. You get that one day. That day is all about you. But the group chat a week before the wedding, that's not your day. That's just a regular day. I've brought the same date as my +1 for 2 weddings before I was out. We weren't in a relationship, but I was glad to have that person as a buffer to avoid the usual family questions and as someone who was a genuine delight to talk to. Not one person in my extremely conservative family asked why I brought the same +1. I just said they were a friend when asked who they were. I had permission to bring them. No one gossiped. The brother was likely not coming out at the wedding, just bringing a bro since they weren't even dating. The brother, all nefarious reasons barred, likely just wanted a buffer. I, 31 female, married to my husband Tyler, 32, and I gave birth to our first child, a baby girl, almost 3 months ago. I love Tyler very much and I always felt grateful that I married into the family I did. I grew up with a single mom and it was always just the two of us. I love my mother dearly, but I always wished I had a larger family unit with siblings when I was little. My mom passed away from ovarian cancer about 2 years ago, and so now I truly don't have family apart from my in-laws. By contrast, my husband's parents are happily married and he's one of 4 children. Everyone has always been kind and welcoming to me, and I always have a blast at their holidays and family reunions. The only exception is Tyler's twin sister Ashley. Since I met her, Ashley has been cool and standoffish towards me, especially compared to her friendly younger brothers and parents. She's never been outright mean to me, but she's also never made much of an effort to ask me questions or get to know me. I know she also has some resentment towards Tyler and sometimes comments on the fact that he's the favourite and that everything comes easy to him. Some of her comments irked me since I know how hard Tyler has worked for his success. I also see that he has struggles he doesn't share with the family since he doesn't like to burden others. I've never said anything about the comments since Tyler accepts it's the way she is and doesn't get too bothered by her. Even though Ashley and I are far from best friends, I've been sad to learn that she's had a hard time getting pregnant. She and her husband have been trying for around 2 years now, and she recently had a pregnancy loss. I've tried to be mindful of what she's going through and intentionally avoided talking about my pregnancy and now baby around her. I even declined my mother-in-law's offer to throw me a baby shower since I thought it would be difficult for Ashley with everything going on. With that being said, the entire family has been incredibly excited about my daughter. My husband is the first of his siblings to have a child, so it's an exciting time and transition for the family. Yesterday, my mother-in-law and father-in-law came to our house for dinner. My mother-in-law said she had something difficult to speak with us about and started talking about what a hard few years it's been for Ashley. My mother-in-law said Ashley is excited for us, but it's painful to see me with an infant when she's wanted to be a mother for so long. She said Ashley is dreading the holidays because she's worried everyone will be focusing on and fussing over the new baby. My mother-in-law said that she was looking forward to spending the holidays with us, especially since it's our daughter's first Thanksgiving and Christmas, but she's trying to think of her daughter's feelings as well. My mother-in-law basically asked if we could either sit out on the family Thanksgiving and Christmas this year, or hire a sitter to watch our daughter so all the focus wouldn't be on her. My mother-in-law even floated the idea of me staying home with the baby and my husband stopping by quickly to say hello. My husband was angry. He said that Ashley should be the one to stay home if she can't manage her emotions, and my mother-in-law said that Ashley is going through a lot and needs her family right now. My husband said he's not celebrating the holidays with the family unless the baby and I are both included. I started crying, which surprised everyone since I rarely show emotion. I said that I feel terrible for Ashley, but I'm incredibly sad and disappointed that my daughter is being excluded. I explained that I don't have a family now that my mother is gone, and so I really want my child to have a strong bond with her grandparents, uncles and aunt. My mother-in-law said there will be opportunities in the future for her to bond with the family. I said I don't think I'll feel welcome in the future now that I know they're so willing to exclude myself and my daughter. I said it's sad that we're clearly not viewed as an important part of the family since my mother-in-law was so quick to suggest we both stay home. I said I understood that Ashley was her daughter, so her loyalty would always be to her first, but I was also very hurt by the request. My mother-in-law started to backtrack and said that she loved me and her granddaughter very much and that this clearly wasn't the right way to handle the situation. She said she was trying to do the right thing, but she didn't spend enough time thinking everything through. My husband was still fuming and asked his parents to leave even though his mom was crying and begging to work things out. I've gotten several calls from my mother-in-law today. I know I should give her a call and hear what she has to say, but I'm still so hurt. My husband is also upset and doesn't want to participate in the holidays this year. Maybe I'm being selfish under the circumstances, but I can't believe how easily they could exclude my baby. Am I the idiot? Get a sitter for an infant? Heck no. Not the idiot. What if Ashley can never get pregnant? Leave you out until your child is an adult. It's sad that she hasn't been able to get pregnant, but it shouldn't mean that you and your child are treated any differently. I'm so tired of these people saying even family babies need to be removed from their sight. The minute they have their baby, everything will finally be fine and everyone will be expected to dote on their kid because it's a miracle. Yeah, because it's so easy to find childcare on a literal holiday. This is a ridiculous way to live. While I feel very sorry for someone who wants to get pregnant and is having difficulty, it doesn't mean the rest of the world has to start pretending they don't have babies. This is a grown-up woman. She needs to learn to deal, and if she can't, she should stay home. Ashley needs therapy. She's being selfish and trying to get you and your darling daughter out of the way so she can be the center of attention. Let your husband deal with his family and take a step back. Start your own family traditions. There's nothing to stop you inviting who you want to celebrate with. I'm 30 male from India. I belong to a rich family, but the trouble was that when I hit puberty I realized I was gay. I tried to date girls, but it didn't work out for me. It was like a facade. My brother was already married at 24 and handling the family business. Bless my ex, who made me accept who I am, and she is my wing woman even today. I moved to the USA in 2018 for a residency program, anesthesia, against my family's wishes. As there was no hope for my love life, marriage, etc., my sister loaned me $50,000 for all the costs and I paid it off during residency even though she kept refusing. I gave her gifts. I found my husband, a white man, which is another issue for brown families, during the very first month of my move here. We started casual dating and I opened up to my family during the global issue. They were mad but accepted my orientation. However, the condition was that I had to keep it secret from society, which wasn't possible. I got married in 2022 and only my sister and her husband attended. It was bittersweet. My husband works part-time as I make good money and will adopt children in the next few years. I have an open Instagram ID and now everyone knows that I'm married to a man, which has caused an uproar. My parents said for me to dump everything, including my husband, and come back to India. They say business has doubled and I still make as much as I make in the USA with better purchasing power. My share of inheritance is around 8 figures. But I refused. I told them I wasn't leaving my husband and the support system that I've built here over the years. They're threatening to cut me off from my inheritance. Mind you, that money is massive and can change my life even here. But I can't leave my husband and the support I built. My parents are angry. Am I the idiot for telling my parents that I'm not coming back and I don't need the inheritance? Edit, I spend 3 or 4 weeks vacation every year with my family, but now I'll only go if they invite my husband every year. Also, to add, my husband has cut off his parents because they were awful to me. Even if you were to obey them, they wouldn't just stop there, they would push for more control. It's not a way to live. Your freedom is worth more than 10 million. Furthermore, rejecting their ultimatum might lead them to giving up and accepting you a little bit more. You might get the money in the end, or if it all goes to your sister, she might share it with you. So definitely not the idiot and making the right choice. As someone who comes from a wealthy family, I will be the first one to tell you that other than your health, there is absolutely nothing worth sacrificing your happiness for. No amount of money or prestige can fill that void when you go home and lie in bed at night. Besides, you made it happen for yourself. An anesthesiologist is one of the highest paying jobs in the world. You're making a difference, highly intelligent, and doing what you love. You can't beat that. God bless and lots of luck in your future, OP. I, 31 female, stayed with my grandmother, 76 female, during Milton as my home was where the hurricane hit. I do not make a lot of money. I live in a mother-in-law home I rent from grandma, meaning it's a very small space behind a house with only 2 doors inside, to the bathroom and the closet. There are no other doors in the entire place. Everything is open and easily accessible. This is important. My grandmother is obsessed with her 2 large dogs. They're boxers, fully grown, very smart, hyper, and destructive. I own a lot of expensive equipment for work, at least $6,000 worth, and emotional attachment sent by my long-distance partner that can never be replaced if lost or destroyed. She lives a little under 2 hours away, and each time she comes down, she wants to stay the night because she's getting to that age where long drives aren't feasible. I don't really like people coming into my space, but I'll allow her to stay because she's done so much for me, as long as she gets a dog sitter and the dogs stay back at her house. She has one and uses them often to go on mini trips. She says these dogs are like her children, and I'm an idiot for forcing her to choose because they make her feel safe and relaxed. Her argument is that 80% of the time when she comes down here, it's for me being evacuated, family vacations, etc., since I don't drive due to PTSD. I've tried to offer to pay for the sitter, but she ignored the offer. The thing is, I cannot deal with the labour of keeping these hyper dogs from destroying everything. I cannot fit all my valuables into my closet, nor should I have to because I still need to work, and it's my space which I pay for. I don't want to have to dog-proof my house just for a night and have to climb over makeshift barricades of chairs, dressers, etc. She thinks it'd force me to clean my space better. She has OCD and doesn't see reorganizing my entire small home to be dog-friendly as a problem since it's so small. It's been almost a month now and she's still angry at me for not letting her stay and mentioning that she wanted to stay at the end of this month since we're going on vacation together, but she refuses to leave her dogs at home. I know she does a lot for me, but the last time they stayed got really tense and ended in a nasty fight, which started the rule. I'm neutral to dogs, I'd even say I like some of them, but her dogs make me neurotic. The entire time they're around, especially in spaces that I'm in, they just start licking me, chewing on my stuff, and try to mow over me or her to get into areas that I've had to makeshift barricades for. No doors. I'd rather cancel the whole vacation than let her stay with her dogs for that one night, because just the 4 hours caused so much havoc overnight that would probably end our relationship, since I'd be on their case the entire time. So, am I the idiot? Untrained giant dogs are not a small request. If they were trained well, maybe you could make this case, but expecting you to manage 2 huge wild dogs in your space is unreasonable. Not the idiot. You're perfectly willing to let your grandma stay with you, but you do not have the space to accommodate her dogs. The fact that you're renting from her is irrelevant, because you're paying to have use of the space. You are the idiot. Everything is always about you. Your grandmother rents you a house, likely below market rate, she does all the driving to see you, she shelters you when you need it, and you can't figure out a way to put your valuables in the closet a few times she visits? Come on. If you were independent, paid for yourself, drove half the time and did some caring for her, it would absolutely be reasonable to draw a line at the dog hosting. But this isn't the case, and your grandmother does a lot more for you than you do for her. Can't you find a way to do this one thing for her? You mentioned you offered to pay for a pet sitter. Why not instead use that money to buy a storage container to put the valuables in so your grandmother can visit? Right? What is wrong with people? Family owes me everything, and I owe nothing to anyone who would convenience me in any way. Seems to be the new way. The force of me is strong with this one.